Hi family and friends. This week I chose to do the Week in Reflection in a video version. There's so much that I want to share with you, and it's best that I tell you face to face. With all the events that went on this week, they were extraordinary. Look at what took place here just nationally here, at least in our area that we can talk about, is the eclipse on Monday. What a phenomenal day. Certainly communications went out about safety precautions and proper use of the eye care. Many science classes, many students with proper eye care went out with their classes and saw that beautiful eclipse that was happening really at the end of our day, leading into dismissal. Students did an excellent job. Parents, thank you for sharing all the information that you did with your sons and daughters, because it's going to be several years until we get to experience a full eclipse in 2024 right here in this area. Monday was a great day at the school. We started off with having a junior meeting during the topper time, and we started to talk to them about what those opportunities would be for those juniors. Freshman mentoring was already in session. Seniors and other sophomores were in extended period learning about the handbook and some of the details of the school year with that. On Tuesday, we were having our first opportunity to start the new year with a picture. We had picture day. It was a seamless day, and Pastor Photography does a great job here at Chardon High School. And they work many of the schools around in our conference and out of conference. They're a phenomenal family. And they had lots of friends helping them out. It was very seamless. They did a great job. A lot of great smiles, and kids looked awesome in their dresses and their shirts. They just looked sharp, and they all came with a different approach almost. It was very pleasant to see. They're always pleasant, but just when it's picture day, it's like they're dolled up a little bit more. Hearing took place in vision screening for the various classes that went through that. I want to thank our nurse for providing that and all the assistance that she had. We also spoke with the sophomores about topper time on Tuesday, and they got to schedule their specific topper time. Some of the things we also talked about with the students was morning traffic. It's getting much better, and I think a lot of the first week parents were driving students to school. It's the first week, and one thing I want to emphasize is that transportation has changed their routes a bit so that students are not in school so early, that they're arriving to school in a proper period of time, and so that's caused a little bit of the traffic here on Chardon Avenue, which we are clearly addressing, and we're working out. Obviously, you see me in the morning, Mr. High and Mr. Bandera working the traffic situation. The thing that I want to talk to you about is lanyards. I'm going to move over here for a moment. Every student has a lanyard now, and inside the lanyard they're going to have their ID that the pastors took. They're also on the back going to have their topper time card. You see, students signed up for topper time for 9 weeks, and the freshmen already have their topper time assigned. It is freshman mentoring, and seniors who are mentors go assist them Monday, Tuesday, and Friday during that time for the first semester. The other students signed up for various activities that I will have posted in this Week in Reflection for you to read. But those things that are posted, students, if they chose to go to math help for 9 weeks, with Algebra 1, and there was a day that they really needed English help, or there was a day they just needed a brain break and wanted to go to intramurals, there's 9 signature sections for the teachers to sign the student out so that they can go to that other experience. The teacher can sign them in, and the next day they return. It's really a simple process, but it allows that brain break and opportunity for students to get what they need during the middle of the day. The lanyards, I'm asking all students that we are going to wear these this year because of many reasons. There's been a lot of changes in state law, and House Bill 410 coming out with attendance and truancy that I need to talk to you about as we're learning more about. But having the identity of all students at all times is really important, especially when we have emergency drills like the fire drill that we had last week, just to be able to identify students quicker, whether it's a passing period and the teacher is like, I have, what's your name? Oh, I have so-and-so, because they can see a lanyard. Inside of that, they will be able to identify not only the students, but the students will also have their topper time, and for those students that have a permanent pass on early dismissal or late arrival. and those juniors and seniors with a 3.25 that have an open campus option for one of those periods of their day. Wednesday, yesterday, and I know I'm taping this on a Thursday, but Wednesday was phenomenal with our first block experience. Teachers came into school and they had the opportunity to meet in professional learning communities. If you don't know what those are, professional learning communities are opportunities for collaboration, planning, meeting, looking at data, looking at Algebra 1, English, Art, Science, Physics, Algebra 2, Calc. All the classes meet, and this year we're meeting on both A and B cycles. Last year we met on Tuesdays, and it was A week one week, B the other week. And it was great, but it didn't allow us to grow as fast as we needed to grow. So every Wednesday, teachers are meeting in both of their professional learning communities, and that's why we have a late start, so teachers can meet and teachers can plan for the data in which they're trying to work on. The most important thing is your child, to help them through the course of that unit, to help them through the course of that semester, and obviously the curricular outcomes, the targeted learning outcomes, that they're able to address the errors and the issues of what we want students to know, what we want them to do, what do we do when they don't know what they're doing, and how are we addressing those things. And they are able to do that weekly now, more so than they were in the past. The transportation in the morning was great. We had all of us administrators, officers show up front, and all the work with Maple were able to seamlessly move traffic. I want to make this known. Canfield's now open, so you can use Canfield as a way to come to school. It seems, I see a lot of people that I know that live out my way, out in Chardon Township, that are coming Chardon Avenue, and I just want to remind you, people that live north of the square, Canfield is open for you to use. Now use discretion and proper care driving on any of the roads, with households and transportation and people that want to come in and out of their own personal driveways. But so far we have done a great job with all of that on our transportation before and after school. With our second block period on Thursday, which is when I'm recording this, it has been great. I've been getting text messages from teachers saying this is great. I've been talked with students. I love this. I didn't expect the time to go by so quickly. Look at what we're able to do. Project-based learning is happening. Extended labs and opportunities. Math is going deeper into content. They're going out into the hallways and plotting charts. There's all these various forensics labs that are happening, and it is all good. Art is able to expand what they're doing. For each of their classes, 1 day a week, they have 90 minutes of learning. We're meeting the same amount of time, and actually a little bit more, but we're not meeting as many days because of this Wednesday, Thursday block of 2, 4, and 6 on Wednesday, 1, 3, 5, and 7 on Thursday. For Friday, we have a lot going on. The Captain of the Crazy is starting. Our Topper Dogs are going to occur, and that's where in the student parking lot, yes, they eat hot dogs at 7 o'clock in the morning. It's a tradition that's been going on for many, many years here. Our Captains of the Crazies are fans of the great. They highlight the band and all those athletes, winter, fall, sport, or even spring. They do a great job. We have a special schedule that I've shared with you, and the reason for that is leadership camp. We just scheduled everyone's Topper times, and now we can actually run them, but it's our first Friday, and we have about 13 staff members out who have Topper times, and 70-some students going on these leadership camp, and it gives guidance the opportunity to refine all that time inside of Infinite Campus, because now you can see what Topper time you are in, and then those students who are going to leadership camp are going to be collaborating, and it's all different grade levels and all different activities and all different groups and all different sports are all meeting together for a purpose, and that purpose is to lead with a purpose together. And in doing so, they have Todd Waits coming. Todd Waits has a great story. He's a cancer survivor twice, and he had his arm amputated when he was 15, and all he wanted to do in his life was be a musician. And he's going to speak to our students and do a breakout session with a leadership camp. And I want the students of Chardon High School, to hear this man's story and motivate students. And he's coming back in the afternoon. So Friday's schedule is this. They have periods 1 through 7. all in a row, and the students have received this, and the staff have received this, and you have received this. All we did was move topper time from the middle to the end of the day. Within some of the things that you need to realize, parents, when it comes to having students come out of schools, there's been problems in the past where all of a sudden, when we have an afternoon assembly, all of a sudden there's 200 people that have a doctor's appointment. Well, you have every right to do what you want with your time. But House Bill 410 kind of constricts things that have approved in the sense of unexcused and excused. And there's a lot of clarity that needs to be shared with all of you. What is an unexcused absence and an absence that is excused? Out of town vacations during the school year are now unexcused per House Bill 410. But does that mean that they don't get to make up the work? No, they get to make up their work. Now within the system of House Bill 410, it's out counting hours and not days. So we need to change parts of our handbook to make sure it's aligned to the new law. And I will make sure that we have meetings with you so that you understand what it means for you. All that you need to know is, regardless if you're out of town, regardless if you have a doctor's appointment, regardless if you are sick, if it's unexcused or excused, you still have the ability to do your work for credit and have it ready for upon your return. So that's the biggest thing you need to know. Regardless if you're in or out of school, there's no exempt and all that you have to worry about. Students have hours that are accounted for, that we are EMIS coding, and I know that's a lot of information, but it's something that is a paradigm shift of what we used to do, where students were worried about exempt and not exempt. Students are now able to do their work, regardless of what the predicament is, because students shouldn't be penalized for an illness, and they'd be able to do their work. And students that take an out of school vacation, if they have one, the absence will be obviously accounted for because you're not in the building, but you're able to do your work. More details to come on that. Friday nights, football all begins this week. West Geauga, we are playing them at home. It's going to be an extraordinary day, evening, especially as we look at all the work that the Gridiron Club has done, along with the work of our captains of the Crazies, our band, our football players. It's going to be a special evening to come together as a community. That's one thing that we do well here at Chardon, is we are a community. That's one of our corest of all values. We model humility, recognize achievement in and out of school, respect all those that we're around, and when we recognize that those aren't respecting, we remind them of what our values are. We're full of dignity, optimism, and nurture, because that's who we are every single day. That's our why. When we live our values and we are able to recognize our behaviors, we're able to have the outcomes that we're looking to achieve. I thank you for sharing your sons and daughters with us every single day, and I am proud to be the principal of this building with phenomenal staff and great students. Thank you. Sorry that I had to be wordy this week, but I want to at least you can have the time to watch us on your own. There will be things that I place inside of the Week Inflection also. Have a great weekend.